So, this hurts. This sucks. Let's talk about it. So, you guys have heard me say before that I'm not the greatest at the hat game. Like, I wear hats a lot, and I love hats, and I love finding dope hats. But I'm not super familiar with the hat market, and I'm not really good at, recognizing value in hats. I need to, but I don't. And this little story is about how I really need to learn those hats better, because recently I made a sale, and normally that's nothing to worry about or complain about or feel embarrassed or sorry about. But I sold this hat right here. Cool hat, right? Now, some of you might recognize this hat and be like, oh my gosh, that's a great hat. That hat goes for hundreds, 300, 400. Well, you would be right. And I would be the one who sold it for $30. Yeah, I sold it for $30. I had this hat sitting in a bin for a long time of hats that I needed to get listed, and I just hadn't got the photographs and got them up and stuff like that. And so I finally got around to getting that done, put it up. Nothing about the hat sort of, said, hey, this is a really important hat. Like this hat right here, I know that this hat is worth money, but this hat just didn't necessarily say anything specific to me. And I hadn't researched it, specifically either. So it wasn't made of wool. It didn't have the tags. It didn't have a branding label on the inside that had been ripped out, so it was hard to know which brand it even was. I just figured it was some run-of-the-mill, late 90s Lakers NBA hat. Well, I was dead wrong. This hat sold within 5 minutes or 10 minutes or so. And at that time, I didn't realize anything. I figured, okay, maybe I underpriced it a little bit. But someone just wanted it, right? Who knows? And about 10 minutes after that, I get a message that says, hey, that hat's worth way more than $30. I'll give you $100 for it if you cancel and sell it to me. And I was really, really, really tempted. But for me, integrity is key. My yes, and it needs to be my yes. My no needs to be no. For me, and so I was really tempted to cancel and say, hey, man, I mispriced that. And I could have come up with a good excuse and stuff. But the truth is, I mispriced it because I was ignorant and I didn't take the time to go look something up. And so I shipped it off to him. It probably made his day. He's going to make a good, clean bill there, $200-300 probably on this hat. And I will learn a better lesson. And I'll have my integrity still. I'll still feel, and I can still be the kind of guy I want to be. And I think ultimately that me valuing my integrity over a few bucks, that's going to do better for me in business long term, because that's a kind of business person I want to be. I want to be a business person that is known for dealing straight and not ripping people off or trying to manipulate people just to make a few more dollars. So I sent him the hat. It's his hat. He can do with it whatever he wants to do with it, make as much money off of it as he wants, just like I could have. And to be honest, I still have $25 more than I did when I had the hat sitting around doing nothing. So it wasn't a total loss for me. In fact, I didn't really lose anything. I made some money, just not anywhere near what I could have made if I was aware of the value of that hat. So I guess the lesson here is, don't be lazy when it comes to listing. Double check if you can. Don't, a lot of times I can gauge the value of certain things, but I need to remember where my weaknesses are, and hats are my weakness, and I should have remembered that. And this is sort of not even all that bad a deal, because it turns out I realized that I had several other hats that hadn't gotten listed yet that are very valuable, like a couple other sports specialties hats that had been sitting around for a little while that I needed to get listed, and it turns out they're worth way more than I remember them being worth when I first bought them. I bought all these hats a while back in a big lot, and I sold handfuls of them and made good money, but it looks like the market for those hats has gone up quite a bit since I bought them a couple of years ago. And so definitely excited that even though I lost out on this deal with this hat, I now know to make sure that these hats are priced correctly and that I'll make money. So I'll probably make my money back ultimately, and maybe even more than that, having learned this hard lesson, having missed out on $300. So for you guys out there, remember, you gotta take your time to list. If you're not sure, or even if you think you're sure but you don't know, double check the comps. Make sure you're not underselling yourself, and you'll be way happier if you do that. It doesn't take that long to do, especially for items that you're just not super familiar with, like me and hats. So do that, and then also be people of your word. If you make a mistake like I did, which we all do occasionally, just live with it. Suck it up. People will have more respect for you long term, and knowing that you're a straight shooter, that you're gonna deal honestly with them, and not look to just for your own monetary gain and for your extra monetary gain. People will have way more respect for you and want to do business with you more in the future. Now, you may not be able to give them the discount you just gave them after making that mistake, but they will have more respect for you and believe you to be an honest person and want to do business. So that's my story, and of course, I'm sure you guys have stories, so share with me. What was the thing that you underpriced and it sold on eBay? What was that one item or a couple items? Who knows what it was? Let me know in the comments how you have accidentally mislisted something and how much it hurt as far as the monetary difference from what you got and what you could have gotten. I'm sure I probably have done dozens over the years of grossly mispriced items. But I want to hear from you what you guys have mispriced, and if how it turned out, and if you did you send it off or did you not? Did you cancel? Let me know in the comments below. We'd love to have that conversation with you. Otherwise, guys, thank you for listening to my little sob story. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.